mics. Like those have mics. That's nuts. I didn't realize this
Yeah.
had a mic until I got on the phone. I was like, what?
Oh,
Wow, man.
I wonder if that's why it
Yeah.
always mutes. Maybe or
See,
no,
and that's
because
what,
now
so
it's
when
muted.
this unplugs, yeah, when this unplugs, my headphones, like the audio connects to the mic. I don't know why. Like connects to the mic, but it's unplugged. So then I lose audio. So I have to switch back and then I have to put my mic back in. I don't know what's going on when it does that. Um, yo, we're here, we're back, man. We got another what is it? Is this Tuesday? No, this is Wednesday. Wednesday.
Yeah.
I didn't update the thumbnail. We're doing mock draft. Dude, so we have 8 days, but it's really 7. Like, we're not gonna still do nothing Thursday. Thursday's the day. We're going there on Thursday. Don't pick that McConkey at 29. But we're about to get to some receiver talk. Easy. Right before we get into this, though, because I want to get this thing going, I wanted to quickly ask you if you had any like different opinions on Sanders. And like, where do you kind of stand with like a place you stand on that guy? Because I'll be honest, when I was trying to come through with this receiver ranking, like you're watching Xavier Worthy and then you're watching Adonai Mitchell, and it's like, bro,
Yeah.
Sanders is nasty. Like it's like it built back again. We're like, even today we were doing our mock on the NFC North Roundtable. I wanted to trade up in the second round to go get him. I was like, I kind of want to just go get this guy. He just looks awesome. So I just want to know what your take was on him.
On Sanders.
Yeah, like do you have a take on him?
Yeah, I do. I think he's
Okay.
a stud. I think you do a lot of things with him. I'm just throwing like I'm just off the top of my head, but like I feel like what Kyle Pitts was supposed to be, there's a little bit of that in there. He feels like that type of athlete. Obviously not as like smooth and lengthy as like Kyle Pitts was, but like I think he offers that value at the tight end position, like where it's almost like borderline receiver-ish. Like you could line him up at the Y and
Yeah.
do things like that. And I think that Ben Johnson likes to utilize guys like that. I think we had this conversation where he may like to do like a 13 personnel or something like that, and like you run so many run plays as dominant as an offensive line is, and the defense putting out those heavy packages, and then boom, you audible, and now a guy like that is out there as your Y, and you got receiving options at the tight end spots.
Yes, yeah. So I'm just intrigued because like after they signed Brock Wright, I kind of got off the tight end train just in general. I was like, I probably don't make any sense anymore. But it's like he's still there, bro. Like if he was there at 61, it would be difficult for me not to take him. I don't think Lions would take him at 61 because that feels like if you're in love with the guy, you're probably gonna go get him. You're just gonna get that player. You're not gonna sit back and just let that fall in your lap. But I don't know, man. I'm back on board with saying if we drafted him, I'd be okay with it because he like part of me thinks like, bro, this guy could be better because he has that tight end build, like you said, like Pitts, because he's built more like a tight end than what we get out of AD Mitchell or Xavier. Like I really think there's a world where he's ends up the better piece.
Yeah, man. It's like Ben can almost make any of them work. So it's not like a position I hate drafting as much as I used to.
Yeah,
I'm just so much more confident in it, you know?
Yeah, bro, it's like that. It's just like that for me with linebacker. Like I did a mock, one of my recent mocks. I took Junior Colson, and it's like this is not a need at all. But I think Colson's the best linebacker from what I've seen, and it's just like, bro, if he's sitting there 61, 73, like you could argue like, yo, he's the best player. I don't know what he's gonna do year one, but in year two with him and Jack Campbell, like I like Anzalone a ton, but those two together, I'd love what that could turn into. Chat. Trey Adams, appreciate it. Hey, if you guys have mocks, man, you could either email them to me, dosebegaming@gmail.com, or just tag me on X. That's the easiest way because I do want to do some mock the mocks, man. We're like a week away, so probably over the weekend or something, we'll do some reacting to mock drafts. I think doing it too early is kind of difficult because I don't know who you guys are drafting, to be honest. So we're gonna get into this and Easy. This is kind of gonna be like a video format, but not really. It's not gonna be that good. But Easy's gonna be reacting to it while we're doing this live. So I'm interested. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to rank positions. It's super difficult to actually like separate players once you start getting into it. And I wanted to separate the top three because it feels like everybody knows who the top three are. So like, I'm not going to really waste my time just diving. They won't go to the Lions. They're probably all going top 10. Why would I go through the top three? We know who those are. So like, who's after that though? How would you rank the next 10 receivers? And that's what we're going to do here before we get into the Lions mock draft side of things. You can go vote on the poll that we have on the community right now. If you have, if you guys, which one you want to see, because we're going to do an individual one or we're going to do one together. But with that, let's dive into it. Now, I will say that the presentation I'll be giving, the graphics I'm showing are not fire for all of these because I'm putting them on the website. That way they're up there. I thought it just made more sense. Some of them I don't have, like about half these guys, I don't have the write-ups actually in there yet. I just have the player. So some of these you'll just have to hear what I say because I don't have things written down. But half of them I do. So half it's going to look cool. The other half is just going to be looking at a picture of a player. So, it's better than nothing, So let's get right into it. Hey, chat, feel free to guess, man. Like, all about the guessing. And again, the thing I will say about this is not necessarily my top 10 for the Lions. It's my next 10 receivers after the top 3 based on the grades that I end up giving the players. And I'll kind of like specify when we get to one if I'm like, yo, I really like this dude for the Lions, or like how his role could fit. And Easy can probably speak on that really well too. So I'll let him speak on that too. So let's dive into it. We'll start at 10. I'll hit you with the honorable mentions before we finish. But at 10, should I start at 10 or you think I should start with a guy that's number 4?
No, start at 10 for sure.
Under 10.
But it's funny that way. Builds up suspense.
Okay.
No one cares about the back half. Come on.
We'll do that. All right, we'll start. I like that. We'll start at 10. Here we go. Number 10. And this is kind of how this is going to be laid out. Actually, let me not. I guess it's fine. I can just show it like that. Let me present this a little bit differently, though. Let me make this. Okay. Bam, just like that. Yeah, so starting at number 10, we have Javon Baker. And I'm showing you this. This is on the website right now. These will be on there. You can pull these things up. Wide receiver out of UCF. Like I said, I'm going to have like little, not all the pluses and minuses like you usually do. That's just more in the notebook. But instead, I'm just going to put like a little blurb of what I think of the player just to save some time. You can see the size here, right here. You can see also testing scores. I also put their age on there. Some of these will have statistics. What I've watched in my final grade was a 6.2 here for Javon Baker. So you guys can read that if you want to. Basically, to me, man, when I see Javon Baker, I think I'm pronouncing his name right. I think that there's more there than what we've seen. But then when you look up his stats, he went over like 1,100 yards this past season. It kind of surprised me because there's some games where you just don't necessarily notice him. Like, it's almost like his teammates are like, yo, that's the guy that's shining. But he was super productive this past season from Alabama, which is where the first time he really got production is because he transferred away from Alabama. I thought at the Senior Bowl, it really showed like, yo, this guy needs some polish. All right. Like as a route runner, especially underneath, it feels like he's kind of counting through the routes and guys are jumping on his routes. He's not separating underneath. But overall, when you look at that size, man, over 6 foot, over 200 pounds, he's really well built, which shows up as a blocker. I love dudes that carry route strength because there's just not many. Like you get some of your receivers that are 170. It's like, what do I do with this? Is this even going to work? You're not going to have that problem with Baker. I think he's a pretty darn explosive athlete too. 37-inch vert. The 40 time was okay, not special there necessarily, but he still is able to open up over top. But it's the hands. The hands are legit. You see the stats: 56% contested catch rate. He tracks the ball really well, and I just think and I think I even said it here, that his separation ability is a higher upside than what he is right now as a route runner. So this is a little bit kind of betting on what it would turn into. But overall, like I liked a lot of the critical traits in terms of I think he has really nice hands, good in contested situations, and he also has real upside as a route runner. So Javon Baker's at number 10. Easy, you got any thoughts on this one?
Yeah. I don't hate it. I really don't. He wasn't in my 10, and I didn't even like make the efforts to like make a solid 10. I don't hate it because I see where you're coming from with the upside. He feels like that guy that a lot of people are kind of sleeping on just because like the speed and whatnot, but he does possess a lot of the traits it takes to be good at the wide receiver position at the NFL level. So I don't hate it. I think the size probably be the number one trait that you love, and then the fact that he actually can run a lot of routes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's what it is for me, man. It's like being great in contested situations, the numbers say it, but then you also just watch him. And then it's like the aspects of like, you know that there's certain guys that they grow on you when you watch him, and he's that just because of the way that he plays and also that build. And then you start to see the athleticism. And I think that there's some lean in there that could actually like separate him a little bit. Like, yo, he's got a little bit more bend to his game than maybe what we've seen. We gotta figure out that route tree. Like, bro, the way he's running routes has got to be cleaned up. But again, he hasn't really produced because he was at Alabama. So you're that athlete to get recruited by Alabama, and then you're also the player that, a UCF that broke out to 1,100 yards. So I'm a bet on that. That'll be at number 10. Chris Braswell, second round. All right, Easy. You have any thoughts on Chris Braswell? I'll move to number 9.
Chris Braswell?
Yeah, I'm putting him on the spot. Just like,
no. I was in receiver mode, and he threw that at me. I was like, Chris Braswell, though. Who is this? Is this guy I'm unfamiliar with? At 29, no. I think that's too early, in my personal opinion. He's been on the side of like monsters. I'm talking about like demons at edge rusher position. I'm talking about Dallas Turner. Before that, it was Willie Anderson and Chris Braswell. You weren't really familiar with him until the draft process because he didn't do much. All due respect to him, I think he was a solid contributing piece, but I don't think it's a guy you grab at 29. Where you at?
There we go. Yeah, I know. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said 20. He said second round. Are you more on board with that at 61?
Yeah, it's totally my bet. Second round. Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it in the second round. I think it makes more sense in the second round. So
I think you did make a good point, though. I mean, you made a good point, though, because like the first time I heard him was the draft, but then he also has produced. Like his production is actually not too bad. I actually watched him today, so I'm glad you brought up that name. I watched him back today. I feel like if you were trying to get like an edge that was like more of a typical power player, you could go this route because he also is still kind of thin. Like maybe you could grow on that a little bit. I don't love him though. So like, even though I think 61 would be a fine value, I don't love him when you watch him. So it would be a struggle for me to actually like ever mock him to the Lions. I think there's traits to like. I don't know that I would mock him, at least not yet. All right, I'll move to number 9 because I just found my paper. That's how I was struggling to find. I was struggling to find a paper. I'm glad you held that down easy. Let's move it down here. I don't want to give away the other players because all their grades are listed.
Well, actually, real quick question: is this a top 10 just like pound for pound, or is this top 10 for the Detroit Lions?
This is top 10, just my grade. So I guess pound for pound, just like my grade on the player, like where I would rank it if you asked me to put him on board. Like this guy's the best, this is the worst out of the 10. That's how I did it. But yeah, I'll explain the Lions side I think a little bit more. Like for example, Roman Wilson comes in at number 9 here. So I guess keep in mind though, like what this means, because if I'm saying take out the top 3 and then I put him at 9, that essentially makes him number 12 receiver for me in the draft. So just kind of keep that in mind as we're going through this a little bit. Roman Wilson is going to be purely based on like, what do you vision of that fit's going to look like? And I don't have the little thing there, the little blurb for him. He ran a good 40 time. He tested out really well, and he's not on the taller side. I heard a thing, and I don't know if it's true or not. Could have heard it wrong, but I heard like he had to like fly to his high school. Like I heard that was the thing, like daily. Like that's insane, dude. I'm like, bro, that's nuts.
That makes sense because is he Hawaiian or something?
He's something. Yeah, it's something. I probably should look that up. But like I heard that and I was like, that's nuts. So yeah, Roman Wilson comes in here at number 9. And the thing is for me, like the biggest trait is obviously the size isn't excellent. And I didn't have enough like high grades on my critical factors to like put him way higher than this. But I do think that there's a role for him. I think he's his best trait for me was football intelligence. And like that alone, that could get the Lions to buy into me to a receiver. Like when you see a guy calling out blitzers in the second level before the ball is even snapped and you see the movement. If this guy was in an offense that wasn't Michigan, his production would also look a lot better because he can fly, bro. But Michigan doesn't really throw the football. So, and also like kind of like St. Brown, to his credit, he's that type of dude that can like line wide, and he's not built to line like a wide receiver, but he's so good as a receiver. They put him out there in every scenario. So like to me, I can understand where you would draw. Hey, you can draw trade. Okay, you speak up. What do you think about this one?
So we had a whole, and you might even have this person up ranked ahead of him on your list. And honestly, it would have no problem if that was the case. Like I was speaking on like the Lions fit per se, like Roman Wilson. Everything you just said, that was my argument. And it's Finney, he's an MSU graduate. All right, Keon Coleman, former Michigan State guy too. So he was kind of just riding hard on like, he thinks that Keon Coleman's a better player, a better fit in the Lions. I was like, yeah, I could see someone saying he's a better player. I have no issue with that. I just don't think he's the better fit in the Lions. I think for us specifically, I think we prefer Roman Wilson. He could move around and put in almost any position. I think he's a lot bigger than people give him credit for. That doesn't mean he's huge, but like per se, but he's like, he can do a lot more than I think people are like. I think people are limiting him into like a slot receiver role, and that's just not the case. He's damn near 6 foot, and he can run the entire route tree, in my opinion. And again, like you said, he was in a run heavy scheme, so I feel like we haven't seen the most of him. He produced really well in that run heavy scheme too.
Yeah, I won't spoil, what I got. First off, shout out to One Bar in the building, man. Represent the Vikings.
I see shout out. That's my guy.
Shout out. That's your guy. Okay. Shout out. One Bar and
I love One Bar.
Dion, you mock draft like a 8. Oh, dang. Okay. Hold up. I was like trying to figure out what that was gonna stand for. Trading out to draft mid players. Whoa, you talking about the mock? Bro, hold up. If you didn't see it, I took Rakestral, whose name I cannot pronounce. I've been high on this dude. I traded back to go to the second round. I'm high on the dude. I like the player. I think when you look at that cornerback, I'm a big fan of him. So look, I could be wrong. I think that's the area he'll honestly fall in the draft. I think he'll go in that kind of spot. But I can understand why he wouldn't be like a fan favorite because, to be honest, you don't have that big of a name. But like, I try to do these mock drafts guys I like. If I'm wrong, I'll walk back and be wrong. That's cool. But I like the player. So, all right. Look, man, the comment, okay, a little bit heated there. I got you. TJ Tampa and man, the TJ Tampa is a guy. So, all right.
I just read the comment. I'm sorry,
bro. Hey, yo. We don't 10 draft picks, just a few quality players. All right, look, bro, I didn't even pick up 10 draft picks, so I'm a little confused on the comment. But let's move on. Number 9, Roman Wilson, just to pick off from where you left off, like he runs extremely well. He'd be a problem. I think one person said he'd be a problem in like Ohio State's offense, which he would be. I do think though he would be the best if he was free off the line of scrimmage. So I get what you're saying. Like, he's built. He's a well-built player, and he could actually handle contact, but you don't see him get pushed off his route left and right. He's not like Tutu Atwell coming out was fast and weighed 160 pounds. You don't have that issue, but I do think he's his best when he's free. And, you get him on, like, crossing routes. This guy just separates from me. He just runs by people. So, overall, to me, the big thing is that I had good grades for critical traits, but across from that, like, as a route running release, I had it more average. So, it just didn't push up any higher than this, but a specific team will really like this guy. And then now we'll move on to number 8. I don't want to. Yeah, let me take this off the screen while I move to number 8. Easy, if you got it, man, go ahead. Oh, who do you? If you want to make guess or something, chat, if y'all make a guess who number 8 is going to be. I've seen his name.
Okay, you saw his name in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Let me scroll down a little bit. Okay, Adonai Mitchell.
Ooh, okay. That's incorrect. All right, at number 8, I got Lad McConkey out of Georgia.
Right.
I'm curious to hear where you think of if you have like what kind of take you're at with Lad McConkey, to be honest, because this is where the whole thing became a mess for me, is trying to separate these next few players. Like, it was a disaster separating these dudes. It was so thin, and I think they're all very unique. I'm gonna be honest, when I was watching Lad McConkey, I was like, bro, he kind of gives me Cooper Kupp vibes. Like, I wrote Cooper Kupp down on the top. Understand, like. I mean, I would that probably naturally came in the back of my mind because of that reason. But bro, truly, he is one of the best route runners. And then when you tie along to run a 4.39, like when you think about that, you would think like, oh, this guy, he's got to be one of the highest players. I think some people will look at him like that, and it's fair because he's also not small either. I mean, he's basically 6 foot tall. He's not built that poorly either, and he's a freaky athlete. The issue I have with Lad is, honestly, one of them's injuries, and I try not to put that too much into account here, but even when the guy plays, he's on and off the field. So I'm always like, oh, dang, I don't know if he's actually going to stay out there. Like, he's had a lot of ankle injuries, lower body injuries, things that just pop up on him. He's one of the best route runners, as I touched on. So to me, like, if you put him in the right fit, like if you let him work from the slot, this could absolutely work. I think some of my notes are like I don't think of it as much as a strider, for example, but like within the routes that he's asked to do, he's going to separate consistently. And honestly, any cornerback they put across him, like if you want like a level 2 out route or something, dude is going to separate. It's insane. Like, he separates on everybody he's matched up one-on-one with. So to me, like, part of me was like, okay, if you look at, I think it was Alabama, maybe been Tennessee. But if you like went through the game, you would look at it and be like, yeah, he's not really getting off the line of scrimmage. He's having problems with press. But he was injured in that game, and the guy's playing through an injury. So part of me is like, oh, I really like this guy because he fights through it. He just doesn't come off the field, even though you could see like every play he can't walk around. The flip side is I'm worried about that. And I also have the issue of like, I do think that there's some limitations that I'm still not sure I've answered yet. Can he play outside? I think he can play wide, but I don't think that's where you want him. I think you want to put him in slot. You want to get him off the line of scrimmage. You want to move him around and then just let him work the middle of the field. You got any thoughts on Lad?
I like him a lot. I think I like him a lot more than even you do. I think he can play outside. And I wasn't familiar with the injury history. That is kind of important,
and his production really has never been there in college football. Just throwing that out. Like I think his biggest season was like 700 receiving yards.
Can we talk about his quarterbacks at Georgia?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, their quarterback play was okay, but it wasn't great last year. That's
right.
True.
Even the year before that, I feel like it was kind of like mid. And I know people hyped it up because my man won the national championships, but that was like a team effort, right? So like that's where I'm looking at the quarterback spot. But with him too, another piece, I grabbed an interview from McAllister. No, what's his name? Kamari Lassiter. Okay. And shout out to my guy Connor Rogers. He's the one doing the interview, and he kind of spoke with him. And Kamari gave a lot of the credit of his development to having to guard Lad McConkey in practice every single day. So I would even venture out to say he's like a top 2 route runner in this draft class. Compare that with that 4.3 speed. It was a 4.39 I think he ran, right?
4.39, yeah.
I think he could be a demon, bro. I really think he could be a problem. The same way Cooper Kupp is. Like, he just got that. I'll be real with it. I mean, it's gonna sound crazy, but like they have those option routes. I know Cooper Kupp has an option routes, and I think Lad McConkey could develop that same type of rapport with the quarterback on top of being a little bit more athletic, in my opinion, than Cooper Kupp. Well, I don't think it's an opinion. I think it's kind of facts. He's like a little bit more athletic. You're probably right on the outside. I don't know if he's going to beat too much press coverage per se, but in like a Josh Reynolds type role, I think he'd be perfect, if not better than that. I like Lad McConkey a lot.
Man, so this was the hardest one for me, to be honest, because I didn't know what to do with him. And his play speed's there. Like, he has the traits, play speed's there. He grades out well pretty much across the table. His hands, I didn't think his hands were great. He's good after the catch. He's not elite, But yeah, the release thing, and then to me, just in general, like when you watch the movement, as well as he gets in and out of breaks, I don't see that explosiveness, and I don't know that hurts him. I just think that changes how you use him. You just don't see explosive when he gets out of cuts. It doesn't feel like some of those guys that are going to thrive out wide, and that could pop up against the release as well. But he's so quick with his footwork that like in today's NFL, especially if you're going to move him around, he's going to be successful, bro. Like he's going to be successful somewhere. I just got concerns about him, but like it's hard for me to grade this player because I think he can move around a ton. So you're really high on him. Like I'm pulled back a little bit on him. I like that. Okay.
Nothing wrong with it. I think same way, right? If Cooper Kupp's like test measurements, probably out of the draft, he ended up being like what, third, fourth rounder. Cooper Kupp was, but then obviously hits the league and he's a lot more valuable. I think that's what McConkey's going to be.
I rock with it, man. Like the fact that he was just playing through the injury, like every time you get hurt, like he wouldn't come off the field, but you knew he was jacked up. I was like, bro, I respect this. I'm worried long term, but I respect the fact that he's still out there on the field. So speaking of, at number 7, Keon Coleman. Bro, it's not a gap though. Like you could see, it's not a gap. I people would probably have him ranked higher. So the fact that you said like you were arguing for Roman Wilson, I'm not mad at that. I'm really not. Like these are two completely different styles of receivers, so that's going to be super dependent. Like you're talking about one dude, great acceleration, awesome play speed. Keon Coleman's like the complete opposite of that. Probably his worst trait is play speed. And then there's also like they're built completely different. It's one of the bigger receivers in the class. Yet I separate them by just this much, and I could see those things flipping. I'm with Keon Coleman here at 7. I have a lot of guys that are kind of tight. The next couple you'll see, yeah, you could see it on here. So yeah, he was with Michigan State, led the team receptions. He's actually playing basketball while he was in college. I thought was awesome. And you think about that, and you think about the way that he plays, you're like, that makes sense that he has that background because he's shows up in contested situations. Now the problem is that the contested catch rate's way lower than you expect. It's like 30-some%. So he's not thriving statistically for as much as he's in contested situations. And that's where I pulled back because it's like you see the highlights, like, bro, look at that, and it's nasty. Like the timing, he has the body control. You see he's clutch. He made an awesome grab against Clemson to like walk off the game. One-handed grabs. But it's like if he's living in that mode too much, you're going to have problems. The reason I pulled him back up, though, is I think that his route running is actually pretty good. I actually think it's a pretty good route runner. And I didn't have any low grades anywhere outside of play speed, which is just kind of average, running the 4.6 140. He's got a little shake when he gets to that top of the route. He can kind of create some separation. He can create leverage. But he's also on the same side. You'll see like certain rests where he gets held up and it just cuts everything off. And then you're like, I don't know how he's going to separate out of this. So like, to me, it was just that I didn't have any low grades for him anywhere really. And then there's also the aspect of like, if you're in contested situations consistently, that's not ideal. And he's also not returning a great rate there. So I put him at 7.
That was a phenomenal breakdown. I wish I gave that on air today when I was having that debate with Spinney. I mean, the fact that you're finding yourself in that many contested catch situations probably means that like you're not getting separation. And I think it was kind of clear as day he's not getting as much separation. I know he did well in the gauntlet drill that allowed the Michigan State. I'm just kidding. I'm just throwing shots at this point. But, he did really well in the gauntlet drill. A lot of people are kind of pointing out, and he is. I love watching Keon Coleman highlights. I just don't know that he is. I don't know though, because if I'm not mistaken, someone told me he played like some kick return reps.
He's got a returning background. I had him as a very good returner. Like he very good with the ball in his hands. He's got a punt return background.
It's tough because you see stuff that could point to him being something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Easy, bro. Like if I could show you my page right now, I don't have a low grade anywhere. Even play speed, I put it as average. Like I don't have him tracking the ball, contested situations, route running is fine. He can create some separation. Though it's like, okay, what can I actually ask of his route tree? You know, he gets rounded at spots, but it's like, bro, he still can separate a little bit. Run after catch is pretty darn good. It's like, it's just you have to have the right fit for him. But I was taken aback a little bit by that contested catch rate number. I think when you get to players like this, it's kind of like Marshawn Nealon, where it's like there's a lot of things I like, but when it's like kind of like put your number down, like I just end up with a lower number because I'm like, I don't think I have that kind of buy-in. I don't feel the buy-in when I'm watching him.
Yeah, he's a tough one to read, man. He really is. He'll be good. I think if he goes the right situation, he'll be good for sure. I think he needs a quarterback. It's an interesting stat you brought up about the contested catches. But then again, like you said, like he should be coming down with more of them, right? Is that 33%. What you brought up? 33%. But at the same time, if he's dealing with more contested catch situations, it would make sense that the percentage is lower because there's more attempts. You know what I'm saying? Like the more you put up, the more that percentage is going to drop. So I don't want to like poop on his contested catching because I think that's half his highlights, right? Is making some freaking crazy ass catch. But I think he'll be good. I just think you got to go in the right situation. He's a quarterback that can put it up before he can climb up there and get it.
Yeah, this is one like I said, this is one I struggle with the most. I can move him around a little bit because the next couple that we're gonna have, like they all end up with the same grade. So I'm like just picking which one I like better to separate the two. So at 7 we have Coleman. We'll move on to 6, and this is the last player with the exact same grade that I had here. And like here's the complete difference because you got a guy that's like easy to grade well in Keon Coleman because like he doesn't really do anything bad. He's pretty well rounded. And then you got a player like this, and you're like, yo, he ain't really that well rounded right now from anything that we've seen, but he's elite in one category. And then it's like I'm buying on complete upside everything else. Easy. Do you know who I'm talking about? I feel like you can guess this one.
Donnie Mitchell.
It is not Mitchell. It's Malachi Corley.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. Hey, yeah. Johnny Wilson. Johnny. Now I don't want to spoil nothing there. I'll save that. I'll save that trade. Just stay tuned. I'm gonna go Malachi Corley. Like again, the numbers are fine. The way he tested out, 22 years old, 5'10.5". He's definitely on the smaller side. And I actually have like a read thing here. I'll just read it. Let's make it simple. Get him the ball one-on-one with the DB. Good luck. Like that's the first line because it's one of the lines that I wrote on the thing. To me, he's the best player in this draft when the ball gets in his hands. Probably better than a lot of the running backs because the running back room is kind of whack. And he's a former running back, bro. You give him the ball, he plays faster with the ball. His vision's incredible. And he has that like ability where, like high school football where a player is better than everybody else and you give him the ball and then he just goes across the entire field. You're like, what's he doing? He's doing that to like, he's doing that to like Big Ten teams. And you're like, what the heck is this? Their entire offense centered around this guy because he was just that good every time the ball in his hands. My concerns is that he had too many drops. He wasn't great in contested situations. And I'm like, how is this going to work? What am I buying into here? But then I see him in the Senior Bowl and I'm seeing him separate. And I'm like, dude, I think there's enough there. I had to pull back to 2022. I had to watch him against Indiana. I think it was Auburn. You watch 2022 and I think you see like there's upside as a route runner. You don't know what it's going to turn into, but we had questions like that with Brandon Ayuk too, right? There was questions there. I'm buying the fact that you get the ball in his hands. He's just different. And I think that there's something in there in terms of the ability to create separation, even though like he's not a great route runner right now. As you can see, I put effective route lean, plays at his own speed, which brings potential agility and route balance. So for me, I'm betting on the upside here, betting on the flashes, the drop rates, with average drop rate and poor success rate in contested situations. So who knows? But like, bro, I'm betting on the fact that he's got an elite grade in the category. So I went Malachi Corley.
I have no issue with it at all whatsoever. How do you? I don't understand how anyone could like watch his tape and like not fall in love, even if you're like not looking for like tape features. You're just trying to watch some highlights. Malachi Corley, he's got them for you. To me, what was did he run a 40?
He ran a 4.56. May have been pro day with the double check.
Stuff. The name I want to bring up is Debo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that fit? Right?
Very similar. Yes.
Little Debo, little Amon-Ra.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's the hope with this player. That's to me why someone would buy into because they've already seen it work in the NFL. They've seen a guy and it's like, yo, he's so good with the ball in his hands. And then it's just like because San Fran's making it work, it has to fit the right team. But because they've made it work, if you're willing to take that swing, those guys are not tall either. I don't think either of them are very tall. They're like 6 foot. I think both. Like neither of those are very tall. So there's a lot of similarities to that comp. All right. We'll keep it rolling. Chat, we're on to number 5, man. This is where like I feel like the number of receivers kind of we're getting down to the wire a little here, so you guys could probably start guessing a few of these. But this one's probably a little off the radar a little bit. Like this one's probably a little different, but I recently did a video on him, so I'm gonna spoil that. We'll just get right into it. Easy, do you want to guess, or do you want to? Me just go.
I'm just gonna keep saying Donnie Mitchell till you put him on there because
Okay.
You know what? No, hold on. I got a real guess. Jaylen Polk.
Okay. You be right. Okay, easy. I see you, Jaylen Polk. Yeah, that was a good pull. Hey, Jaylen Polk got 5 for me. Like I'll leave the field.
So 5 is really number 8 though, because we're bumping out.
5 is really 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Because like I'm expecting the top 3 to go in the top 10, right? So now it's like, yo, top 5 out of that. That's still legit ranking though. That's still like a second round type of player. I feel like. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be more than 5 receivers going in the second round. I mean, Absolutely. There might be, especially between that time. So yeah, I mean, look, I put the numbers on the screen. You can see them. They're pretty darn good. And he broke out this past year. What was kind of weird is like Jalen McMillan, who I like too. this was a guy that was like awesome the year before, and then this year it's like he just took a step back. He played a little bit less, but he just kind of took a step back, and then offense became like their slot, the number 3 receiver. And then when you watch Jaylen Polk, it's like this is a guy that broke out. It felt like between him and Rome Odunze, it was like, yo, these guys are just freakish. They're just gonna take over, and Jaylen, you're gonna kind of slide in and just kind of fit with these guys. And that's a huge separator to me here with Polk. But it's also, you know, I'll let the video, like I said, speak for it mainly, but it's the fact that the 40 time is solid, the size is there. I love the way that he plays. I think his route running detail is going to be a problem. Whether that's as a blocker, which his technique's a mess, but as a blocker, he can run after the catch. I love the fact that I think he can run the routes that Josh did. So this is one of the guys I love to fit for the Lions. But then he's also just brings that physicality. He still makes plays, you know, over the top. And his contested catch rate for a guy that when you hear him, you're thinking that guy's going to be contested all the time. 54%, right? Just compare that to Keon Coleman. I mean, that's 20% difference. So Jaylen Polk, to me, man, he's legit. And I think he's going to push up a little bit because someone will fall in love with the guy.
Best hands in the draft?
I mean, it's
best hands in the draft?
I mean, they're really darn good. They're great. Yeah, they're great. Yeah, he might have them. Let me.
I think you might got him.
Yeah, he might have them. I mean, 4 drops isn't great, but bro, like you're right. Like you just watch him. The technique's there. So the catch radius is awesome. Yeah. Oh, here's the one knock I has for his hands. I thought his hands came out early. You know how you think like late hands, like don't show the.
Yeah.
I think
you can develop that.
Gets him. You can develop that. It's like more of a technique thing. He's got hands though.
Exactly.
Okay. You're on Jaylen Polk, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, I took him a while back. He gave me a little flag for it, you know.
I did. Well, hold on.
I don't know if he was just trying to win the mock draft.
No.
That could have been it.
This would have been you. So let me address this because I was like, bro, I was not a fan of Jaylen Polk. I said it in the video, and that's because I watched a little bit, and I was like, oh, this dude's slow. He's trash. I'm not gonna watch. And then when I was like, I'm gonna put my top 10 together. I watched him. I'm like, bro, I was wrong, dude. And it was you. I didn't remember who it was. I'm like, I thought it was someone in the chat. I was like, bro, I know I told someone he was not it, and I didn't like their thing because of it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll accept the sorry. If you want to say sorry, I'm here for
it. Easy. Shout out to Easy. If we take Jaylen Polk, I'll give you all the credit for it. Easy, you right, bro. I was sleeping.
Nah, honestly, I don't know if we take him, but I do like Jaylen Polk. I think the other thing too is I guess this kind of depends on where he goes, but I don't know. I just feel like a lot of those guys in the Washington offense, more specifically Penix and those receivers, like I think they're going to work well wherever they go. I feel like there's really like a pro style situation they got there, and I like that I feel like they read defenses specific, like as the receiver position. Does that make sense? Like they're smart. They're not just out there like, well, what do I do now? You know,
yeah. Bro, the only time you would see that is like, oh my bad, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Only time you would see that is like when it was like seemingly confusion on Penix, when he would do something and it was like, what's going on? But there was so much movement pre-snap within that offense. I understand what you're saying 100%, especially with McMillan.
Yeah, I got to watch McMillan some more. I watch more Polk than I watch McMillan.
I can understand it, man. I can understand it. No, you're right. Like, bro, like I think his route running, as much as it might get knocked because of his athletic build and you're like, yeah, he's going to be tight or something, I think he's a legit route runner. And if you're asking to like eat level 2, level 3, bro, you got something. And then it's also the fact that he can do things after the catch, so you can still throw screens to him. Yeah, I'm on board with Jaylen Polk, bro. So I was sleeping 100%. Okay. See, this was the tough one though. Number 4,
Donnie Mitchell.
I'll let you guys, because not Donnie Mitchell. It's Ricky Pearsall.
Wow, no way.
Did you forget about Ricky, or did you think he was not going to be on here?
I was thinking he just wasn't.
He's going to be on here.
I tried to make a little makeshift list just now, and I had him at my 10 or 13, if you will. But I mean,
yeah, it's bro. I'll tell you why I put him here. First off, shout out to my man Kane Chains. Hey, I appreciate you, man. I got you. Hey, I saw your earlier comment too. I got you. Appreciate you guys being here. Chat, man, we're reading your chats. I'm reading your chats, man.
Dion.
Yeah.
Do you know who Rain Man is?
What is it? Yeah. From the movie.
Okay.
Rain Man.
Make sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest.
I've actually never seen it.
I read it too fast. So I thought he said ramen at first, and I was like, all right, ramen's good. So maybe he's like talking about food. So I'm glad you pointed out. I thought he was talking about noodles, dog. I ain't gonna lie. I was like noodle brain, you know.
Cane Chains. Yeah, if that's not his nickname already, it should be. I love that. White Boy Rick. Oh, especially if he gets drafted to Detroit. That'd be hard.
Bro, all right. So yeah,
although
that would be fire. Look, I'll explain it because you thought he'd be lower. insane catch. I'm gonna be honest. I've never even seen that insane catch. I know he was against Western Michigan. I've heard of it. That's one game I have not watched him play is Western Michigan. So I haven't even seen that, but I need to see it. Because everybody talks about every time they bring it up, they're like, yo, how about that dude's catch? But you can see, like, and here's the issue. Here's why, like, if you Jaylen Polk and him can flip to me. Because if for us, I would understand 100%. They're like, no, I'll take Polk over Ricky. But I think when you just watch the player, like I talked about how I don't think Keon Coleman has many low grades. This player is kind of like that, but he also has higher grades in every category for me than Keon Coleman for the most part. I do hate the fact that he's 23. I don't hate it because it's like, oh, he's old, but it's like you kind of understand why his routes are so crisp. It feels like knowing that he's 23 years old. He's much older. Yeah. It's like Lad McConkey's on the younger side, but you watch him and you're like, bro, he's so disciplined with his route running, even like the little things. His detail never falls off. He hits zone holes, even just running drag routes. Like everything's tight, everything's crisp. And you're like, he is older though, so you kind of expect that. But I don't want to knock him too much for that. You can see the contested catch rate 50% for him, low drop rate, which I spelled as rat as I'm reading this out loud. But yeah, that's what it was, bro. He's a big time route runner. Lad McConkey, as you say, he might be the best route runner. This guy might be too. Like he might have competition there to Lad McConkey as a route runner. He's also gotten open deep down the field as well. Like it's one of those things where it's again kind of the build a little bit. Like he's not short. You can see it 6'1", 189. But I think that he's best built for slot specifically, just because I think that the way he plays, kind of the way that he strides, it's like, yo, put him in the slot, let him go to work there. It's a weird one because it doesn't feel as fluid, but he's so crisp with everything that he does. I don't want to knock him too much. Yeah.
This is one of those guys who I didn't do like tape. I just did like highlights per se. Yeah. And I think he's got I didn't know that he's 23. It does make a lot more sense now. I know that he's like a little bit older. But yeah, he's got that feel for like just zones in the field, like not similar, and it's like a high praise to give somebody, but like Amon-Ra St. Brown, like he's not the fastest guy out there, but he just knows when to tempo his speed, like when to speed up, when to slow down, just to find those spots in the field. That's what I got briefly from Ricky Pearsall. And then he also, if you're talking about the one-handed catch, that was fucking disgusting.
You've seen it? Bro, I gotta see
this one. Oh man, he got hit too. That's the part about it. It's like he one-handed it, took a double shot, and still held on to the ball.
Damn,
Rick don't play,
bro. No, that dude makes sense. And then look, he's got a 42-inch vertical. It's like, bro, he's super explosive.
Wow, Rick don't play.
Yo, I put him right next to Polk, and I was going back and forth. I'm like, bro, I gotta put Pearsall. He's just got better grades for him, but like, great attractive football, very good, high FBI. Good separation, but even a better route runner, has a ton of savvy, great hands. It's like, dog, he's awesome, man. So yeah.
That white boy nice right there, let me tell you.
Sorry. Yeah, bro. There's not gonna be a team that's mad if they draft Ricky Pearsall. Every team will be happy. They'll be like, yeah, we got Ricky. Like every team will be happy.
He just plays the right way, plays the game.
Yo. All right. Hey, bro, but by the way, though, I will say this. Hey, Drew Phillips, he did get him one time. He got him one time, man. He was trying to, he's like a deep post. He was trying to bring it in, and Drew Phillips ripped it on him. Okay, he got him. Trying to bring the ball in. Like he sometimes catches with his forearms. But yeah, I do. I have him at what was that, 4? I think it was 4. Yeah. Well, wow. This is a guy that I know you like. You haven't brought his name up yet, though. But he's up next. No, it's someone that you've talked about.
You literally meant Xavier Legette.
Bam, Xavier Legette. Yeah,
Legette. Is that a belly button tattoo or hair? What is going on there? You're also muted, so this makes the conversation so much more weird. It's just me saying these things. Can you unmute the mic? Fix what you got going on. Look, you just muted yourself. Oh man, smash that like button. Send donos so this guy can get it. Why you fix this? There you go. I can hear you now. No, I can't.
I'm back. Hello.
Bye.
Y'all, look, if y'all can't hear me, give me like 10 seconds, bro, because I got to switch over. So, like, we're good, though.
That's crazy.
He said glue it. I glued it. The glue was trash, bro. The Elmer's.
Bro, is that a Goldberg belly button tattoo? What's happening there?
Yeah, let's go on.
All right, sorry.
No, hey, bro, no, here's the thing, though. And I was thinking about this because I know you were high on Xavier Legette, and I was like, I don't have him that high. I was like, I think he's gonna go second round. Still think he could absolutely go second round. Would not surprise me at all. But here's what I was thinking of, and I was driving to go see a movie, And I knew you were big high on this guy. So before I left the movie, he's like, let me go watch him a little bit more. So I went through a couple more games. I was like, this guy is a dog. But then it was like, wait a minute. If it hit me, all those things that I thought about Xavier Legette, like in terms of like, I remember having to do all these South Carolina games, watch him, was like, yo, this guy was good. I had it thought in my brain like that was this year. Like in my brain, I was thinking like that was 2023. Of course, I thought he was good. He broke out this year. Turns out that was last year where he didn't have any production and he was just inconsistent on the field. Like I put his numbers on it. I think he had 18 receptions like a year ago. It was last year that I remember like just looking at this dude every time you would do the game. It's like he wasn't consistent on the field, but every time he was out there, it was like, why don't they just throw to that guy? I can remember this because we would do participations every game where we'd have to take a player. We'd have to take every player who's on the field and push where they were on the field for every single play of every single game. Like what position he line up? Is he on the ball every single game? What route did he run? And Xavier Legette, bro, was like, every time he was out there, it was like, yo, just throw it deep to this guy. And that was last year. So I'm like, yo, he makes a great first impression. And then, as you can see here, he broke out 71 receptions, 1,255 yards, 10 touchdowns. It's awesome. Now, I did put pretty – it's nasty. I did put pretty raw route runner, all right, the limited savvy. That needs to get better to me. But, man, look at what he's got next, though. Team captain, all right? He won team MVP. Like, he's got a lot of those accolades that the Lions always bring up. I was watching back last year's draft, and all they brought up was who was a team captain. He is that. He's absolutely that. And you can see it's just, to me, the discipline as a route runner that I mainly touched on here. But the twitch, the burst, they show up on the release, the single-step explosion, as I touched on. Could struggle to provide leverage. Tennessee, I thought it was his worst game that I've seen. Tennessee did a really good job against him. It's why Haddon kind of like is on the radar because of how good that guy was. 18 receptions last year. But overall, like, yeah, he's great with the ball in his hands. He's awesome at the catch point. He's also, as raw as he is a route runner, he still can separate. Like, this is one where I'm gonna let you speak on this a little bit because I know this is your guy. I don't want to take all the time here. What do you think about him?
No, I want to hear what you have to say because I mean I know how I feel about him, but like you are more nuanced in the film study than myself. I'm like sometimes I will literally I shouldn't tell myself like this, but if it's a guy that I perceive as a back half pick, I'll just highlight it up versus like watch film. But for me, I mean, I've said in the past, man, I feel like this is like DK Light in my opinion. I guess one thing I do want to ask you is like, how do you feel about that late? I guess that late surgence. Like he was there for what 4 years before that happened.
Yeah, before he did really anything.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's always concerning. Brian Thomas has the same thing. It's like, yeah, he broke out last year. He didn't do anything before that. So you could kind of argue the same thing. But like for me, it's like because I had that good first impression, I feel like I'm less worried about that than I would be with somebody else, just because I thought he was good then. But yeah, like my main thing here is like if this is another one of those where it's like it's not based on just the traits being great at, because I have him as a pretty poor route runner, and same thing with the savvy that he brings. But yet it's like you're just kind of like, would you buy into this guy? And this is one of those guys that's like, yeah, I buy in as a higher grade than what I actually have for a lot of these numbers here, just because of, I mean, guy's 220 pounds, 24 bench press reps. Like he's strong as heck. He's got good length. He ran a great 40, awesome vertical. And then you watch a play, his play speed. He can track the football. He's great in contested situations. He want to get the ball in his hands. He moves around a ton. I mean, he's 220 pounds. He lines that running back, plays in the slot a ton. So all the movement that you get like makes you buy into the football intelligence too. So yeah, I mean, I honestly think he goes round 2. I really do, because I think there's too many knocks and he's not a good enough route runner.
What are the knocks?
Route running. I don't think he's a good route runner at all. He's actually the worst route runner on this list to me. Wow. Like, and I think there's a little bit of a gap there, to be honest. I even have him as lower grade than Malachi Corley, which is crazy. But the weird thing about that is I think he's a good separator. So if like you can't route run that well, but yet you can separate still, it's like, man, we got to dial that in. But bro, that's pretty impressive. So that's what this one is for me. And I don't know, did people think DK Metcalf was a poor route runner coming out? Maybe they did. I mean, that guy kind of fell a little bit.
Actually, I think they did.
It would make sense.
I think that was a knock on him. Yeah, look, are you pulling one up?
I was going to, but I'm like, let me not pull it up over here. Let me pull it up over here. I was just gonna see, like, because I feel like I haven't looked into it, but you said DK Metcalf Jr., right? So, and I know he fell, and it was like, bro, how did this guy fall? And to be honest, what DK had he had quiet games, but then there's also the aspect of like, okay, him against Tennessee wasn't great. Yeah, he was still legit. So while he has the talent, I'm just gonna see what they say. Unpolished is what he was known as, unpolished. So yeah, there you go.
He rushes through pattern ingredients rather than developing their flavors as a route chef, whatever that means. Someone just tried to sound really smart with that one.
Yeah, that confused me. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, just freaking say if you like it or not, but you have to do all that. That's crazy. He had injuries.
And he's a special teamer, bro. He played gunner. He was a returner. He'll kick return for you year one. That's the things you buy. Team captain, I buy into that.
I don't remember what podcast I was listening to, or maybe it was just someone I was talking to, but they're like, the NFL, maybe it's Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes kind of changing that trend. But they said sometimes, and when you're in a pickle, you just grab a guy that is like the football player, like the guy that's gonna like love the game, commit to like getting better, and it's just like an overall dog at the end of the day. And you can always rely on that. It may not be like a superstar, but it's something you can rely on. I feel like he might sneak his way into the first round because I feel like he's that.
That's interesting. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, everybody's like mocking him to the Bills now, it feels like. So I think he's better than Gabe Davis. I mean, I know he's not in the NFL yet. I think he'll be better than Gabe Davis. So they'd be an upgrade. Are we on 2?
Yeah.
Or was that was 4? Or was that 3?
That
I lost my paper. Oh, here it is.
Both of his parents
we're on 2.
Did pass away. Yeah, right when he graduated high school, actually. And that could be part of it too. He also was playing quarterback for a minute before moving to receiver.
Okay, that's interesting.
I know that.
All right. Well, hey, let's keep moving. We'll go on to number 2. Who do you think's at number 2, man?
I keep saying this name, and
you think you're probably gonna be right now, huh?
You didn't say Troy Franklin though.
I've not said Troy Franklin.
There's no. You either hate Adonai Mitchell. It's Adonai Mitchell. It's got to be. Brian Thomas Jr.
Brian Thomas right here.
I'm not mad at it.
You know, I kind of feel weird with this one because I ended up with Brian Thomas. Like, I did a mock. I traded up for him, but I have him here at 2. And, bro, like, I could get it. Like, right, here's the thing. I always kind of go back with this with Brian Thomas. I think that he could be such a special route runner. Like, it may turn into, like, dog, what the heck? Like, yo, I don't think he'll end up being the best receiver, but bro, he might be up there, dude.
He could be special.
He could be so special as a route runner, getting off the release, running routes. It's just so nasty. The footwork for the guy with this ridiculous speed at this size, the flexion that he plays, it's insane. It's like, dude, this guy could be so good as a route runner. He's like Legette, broke out in the final year, in his final season. But here's the issue that I have with him. I pulled me down just a little bit. And it's definitely the issue I have with him is I don't necessarily think his hands are bad, but I get worried about the way that he plays in traffic. And I don't think it'll show up all the time. He has really great tracking moments, and you see it like contested grabs. So it makes him, I mean, I think it was Ole Miss. It was like, this is awesome, dude. He's making ridiculous grabs. All the flexibility's there, right? But it's also when you see him and you're watching him run routes, and he's constantly not only just looking for coverage, but he seems like he's trying to pull himself away from any kind of defender. Like, he does not want to take contact while he's catching the football. He's like doing everything he can, so it feels like to avoid it, and he's going to fade away from it. There was even an example right here, missed zone hole versus Mississippi State. He was running a crosser, and while he was like peeking, like to try to stay away from the defender, he just completely ran past.
Yo.
Well, we should be good. Yeah. Okay, and then the quarterback. What am I doing? Okay. And then the quarterback just completely like to go somewhere else with the football because he ended up just running right through the opening. So that alone, just that in general. If that wasn't there, I wouldn't be concerned. You know, maybe he could make it a little bit stronger, to be honest. But if you throw 50% contested catches, he's got the ability. It's all there. He makes that all potential. I'm just a little bit concerned about it. And that's one of those like red. It feels like a red flag, to be honest. It feels like a red flag. The way that he plays and his willingness seemingly in traffic.
I think he can be special. I mean, you're looking at it right there, too. He's only 21 years old, 21 and a half years old, 6'4", 4'3". I get there's a little bit of route tree, but like there's an NFL coach. We know these egos at the NFL coaching level. They're just, let me get my hands on that. And I'm to Calvin Johnson Jr. So,
yo, they said spank the mic. All right, we good. We good, man. Don't let me if I spank the mic too much, bro, it's gonna unplug again. All right, yo, you already know. All right, should I go to number 1? Because I do have an honorable mention.
I'm blown away that one of these guys are left off the list. So I've been saying this guy's name all night, but I'm just going elsewhere. Troy Franklin.
Okay. Well, before we show that, just real quick, I want to show you guys my honorable mention, Malik Washington out of Virginia. I'm not going to put the other guy, which would have been which would have been Jamari Thrash, but someone called him trash, so I had to just not put him in here. But no, he could also be an awesome route runner. He just doesn't catch well. But I want to go Malik Washington because he feels limited to teams that are going to be on board with a guy that's 5'8", but he's another one of those guys with like, I think as soon as he stepped into Virginia after transferring to Northwestern, he was named a team captain at the end of the season. He has some of the best concentration as a pass catcher, just a complete difference from what we just talked about. He's legit after the catch. Like there's going to be limitations in like his route tree probably, but bro, I love the way that dude plays. It only took like 1 or 2 games for me to love that player, especially if he got into day 3. I think it'd be, I mean, maybe that's like this year's St. Brown if he gets into day 3, to be honest. I don't want to say that because it feels like super unfair, but you know, maybe he could be that. We also skipped one, just so you know. I'm just noticing that. We skipped 4. We went
4.
Polk to Legette. I had someone above. I had someone above him. I completely put him off. I didn't say him. Do you want to go to that quick? I didn't say him. All right.
It's Mitchell.
It's Mitchell. All right. We'll throw him on your right here. So this is number 4. So this is between Polk and this is between.
Whoa. Okay. You're tripping me out with this.
See, I'm a little upset about this one, bro, because this was supposed to be hype. I have him in my top 4. Jermaine Burton out of Alabama at number 4.
Wow.
Bro, I'll say this. If you were a team that's like, bro, he's not on our board, I'd be like, I got you. But at the same time, like it's completely comes down to the thing. I think he can play wide, even though he's only 6 foot, 196. People will view him as a slot. I love watching Jermaine Burton play, dude. I love it, bro. The aggression that he plays with, I think, again, he has a really high separation upside. He needs to like polish up so he can separate more underneath because there's so much of like rolling through his routes and you don't see some of that crispness there. And that to me needs to improve. Again, you can see should improve hand usage as well, which also shows up off the release. He doesn't really do anything once the ball's in his hand statistically, which is surprising with the athlete that he is, that does not happen. And he also put that he goes quiet in games. But the final line is what it is. Talent is immense with big time upside. It's just not there right now. You got to buy into the character, so that's going to hit. But I mean, bro, the way that he attacks football, the leaper, the competitiveness, that situations, the success rate's amazing in those spots. I think Jermaine Burton, bro, if Jermaine Burton was lying, I would absolutely love it. I don't think that they'll draft this player, but I love watching the dude. So he's in my top 4.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead if you got anything.
No, it's high. No,
It's high.
It's just feisty. You like it because he's feisty.
Bro, I love watching him, bro. I love watching him, dude. Yeah. I think his route strength is also awesome, too. Like, for a guy that's built like that, like, yo, you're not going to bully him. There was a play against Michigan, and it's like on the comeback route. The way he can, like, sink and get in and out of routes, bro, it's so tight, so crisp. And there was the one against Michigan, bro, where he's running the comeback. Dude's all over him. And it just, like, boom, he sinks, plants, get back. You're like, yo, how does he do that? It looks like it looks like McConkey, but it's coming back to the football. It's insane, man. And because you have that route strength, like, dude, you can play anywhere. You can play any spot on the field. I buy into that. So at number 1, Adonai Mitchell out of Texas. Not by a lot. But yeah, I went with Mitchell. Again, like I said, it's not by a lot. If you want to argue Thomas could have a higher upside, I'm not even mad at that. And you could also consider the fact that he's only got a 36% catch rate to situations, which could concern you. However, man, as much as this route tree feels like it's a little bit more loose than it is crisp, like as an opposite to Pearsall, I also do think that, like, overall, bro, he's got huge upside as a route runner, too. He separates well at this point already. And, he's super clutch. Like, he shows up in all the big moments for your team. The testing numbers just kind of put it all together because you're like, what the heck? He shows up at every single game, it feels like. I know, like, statistically, he'll have, like, outliers where it's like Alabama. It's like, whoa, I don't get to see that all the time. But, bro, like, as you can see, I think he's a strong route runner. He has that contact balance. He has the build. He has the body control. He has all, like, the looseness that I want in a receiver that I'm going to buy into. So that's why Adonai Mitchell comes in at 1.
Okay. I'm surprised by that one. Not going to lie. Not in a bad way. I just didn't think he'd be high on your list. But that's before you apologize about Jaylen Polk, to be fair. But no, I think he's a guy that runs all 3 levels, and I think there's potential there too. I don't hate it. I will say this too. The one game I only watched one game of his, and the rest were kind of like spotty highlights here and there. And I watched the one game was the one against Alabama, and he had 2 touchdowns in that one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
he was nasty in that game.
Guess what quarterbacks play for Alabama?
Good. Even their slot's pretty good. Malachi Moore's pretty good too. Like they're loaded in the back end, bro. Yeah. So I mean, like he's awesome to watch. He's gonna do well. I think. I think he'll probably go number 4. I think he'll be the 4th receiver off. I don't think he'll get to us. So I thought I was going to come in and not have him at 1 for sure. I thought for sure it was going to happen, but it did. So here we are.
I got Mitchell over him, though. I'll say that. Or I'm sorry, I got Brian Thomas over him.
I'm not even mad at that. Now, what about for the Lions, though? Which one would you? I think it'd be more likely that they go Mitchell over Thomas.
I still like the upside of Brian Thomas a lot, but Mitchell's probably the better fit for like right now. Like he's a safer bet of the two.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, that's. I just think that because of having, if you didn't have JMO, I'd be like, yeah, it definitely makes sense to go get Brian. But I think with having JMO, they'd probably lean Mitchell. So yeah, that's the top 10. This is going to update though, so things will probably change. But yeah, so Mitchell at 1, Thomas 2, Legette 3, Pearsall 4, Polk at 5, 6 was Corley, 7 was Coleman, 8 McConkey, 9 Roman Wilson, 10 Javon Baker. Right outside was Washington from Virginia. All right, hey man, you have time? Do you want to do a mock? You want to do one together? We could do it quicker that way. Is that what you want to do? I mean, I'm asking you. We did that for a minute.
Whichever way's quicker, I'm down.
Okay, let's do one. Let's do one together. I think that'd be quicker. I think, yeah, that should be quicker. Do you want to trade or should we just sit and pick because it's like a week out?
What are we talking about? Like a 1 to 32?
Oh, you want to do an NFL mock?
No, I'm asking. Oh, we're talking Lions mock. You guys do that.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I was saying like we could go back and forth on picks, or we could each do one individually for time reasons.
Let's skip trades and let's do it together and skip trades.
Let's do it. Okay, I'm gonna share that on the screen. Yeah, Chad, that's also gonna be on the website, OCDN.com too. So you guys can check that out. But those have to get up. Some of them have to get updated, and those ranks will probably change a little bit. Do you want me to move the sliders at all, or just leave them?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, you're the slider guy.
I am a slider guy. Let's do like midway between public and PFF, and then let's bring needs down to like just below half. How about that?
I like that. Like that?
Yeah, maybe do needs a little less. I feel like a lot of GMs are like BPA, right?
Okay. I don't know. It feels like the draft always does draft players though that teams need.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you feel like I get what you're saying though. Like I think that's the idea. But it feels like it always works out where teams are drafting players that fit the team need. Like the Bills are going to take a receiver. There's no question. Bills are going to take a receiver. The Jets will probably go offensive tackle. The Falcons will probably go edge rusher. But maybe they don't. That's what it feels like though. All right, we'll do it. Let's do it. So we'll go 7. Bam. No trades. Now, do you want to alternate or do you want to try to make the picks together? I think we could alternate.
Yeah, I mean, it don't matter to me. I don't care either way, to be honest with you. I'm not tripping.
Okay, do you have a poll for the first pick? Like, is there a certain way that you want to go with this?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know. You pass up on JPJ right here, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I know there was like some concerns with the medicals, but like after all the combine stuff, there was never really an update since then. I think Chop could be maybe a discussion here. I know like you personally aren't the biggest Chop fan, but like I was on a press call with Daniel Jeremiah today, and he said that some people have Chop as edge number 2.
Yeah. I've heard someone say that they feel like he'd go in the top 15. It's like, man.
There are teams that have him as edge number 2, according to Daniel Jeremiah. Let me double check on that, but yeah.
I would say it feels like it's possible though, because like if you look at the edge rushers, like you have one guy that has a whole bunch of injury history, so who knows what people are gonna feel about that. You have Dallas Turner, who's probably gonna be the other one, and then you have Jared Verse, who's like, okay, you love the way that he plays and like the force that he plays with.
Yo, you there? Yo, can you hear me? I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh, no, I can hear you. You gotta get that shit fixed, son.
Yeah. Did you hear what I said? All right, probably not. We'll keep it rolling.
What'd you say? Just say it again.
No, I all I said was I think you could understand it by the injury history with Latu. Jared Verse would probably be the other one, and then you also have Verse. I mean, not Jared Verse. Dallas Turner probably the other one, and then Verse could definitely I could see a team viewing Robinson over Verse because Verse feels like there's some tightness there. And he's also like a very much so of a force edge player that doesn't feel like it's all there yet. Like he has a specific way that he wins. So you could do that. I think I'd be surprised still though.
The chop.
Yeah, if you went that high, I'd be pretty surprised. But I mean, shoot, like what was it last year? Will McDonald went 15. I think that was last year.
That was a surprise.
And it's like, bro, like right before the draft, like Will McDonald looks pretty awesome. And what did Will McDonald do? He had some of the best bend. So if you wanted to look at chop and say, yo, he can get off and he has really good bend, like that'd be a difference than Jared Verse. So if you were buying into that rather than just power, like okay.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'm going JPJ. I can't really pass that up right there at 29. I know.
Like JPJ over Frazier for you personally. I know you were big on Frazier.
Say, yeah, I think so. I think here's the way I classify them. The three names. I think Barton's number one by far, just because of the versatility there. JPJ. Barton's just a better athlete, the overall athlete. I'll start with that. Leave him out of the way. He's number one for me. Yeah. Number two, probably JPJ, just a big body freaking mauler, which I feel like Jonah wasn't that, but like I feel like he could fill that role as Jonah, as that pulling guard, was just fucking clearing space, going crazy. And I feel like being next to Frank and between Panay, like I feel like our offensive line as veterans can kind of calm him down a little bit, but he's just a massive human being that's very aggressive. He's number two for me easily. Jax Johnson. Frazier, probably the more nuanced, more technician, more skilled guy. Probably the more Detroit Lions guy too, to be honest with you, in terms of like kneecap biting.
His pass pro is questionable though, like real questionable.
You think so?
I think so. You don't think so? I feel like I thought his pass pro like had legit questions. Like I'm saying, I go JPJ too.
I can see it because of size.
Yeah, like I was like, bro, he looks like he's gonna have some struggles at pass pro, but that was at center, so maybe he's a more natural transition to guard. And yeah, he run blocks his butt off. So it's like if you're looking for that, you're gonna get that.
You talking about Frazier or JPJ?
I'm talking about Frazier. I'm sorry, I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's why I assumed you were talking about. Yeah, because of size. Yeah, no, I agree. Give me JPJ all day in this situation. I ain't even sweating this one.
I'm not mad at that. I also will say, like, there is a part of me that's real curious about Jordan Morgan. I don't think they'll take a lineman first, but if they took Morgan, you know, for future at like his build, like maybe he's the left tackle of the future, maybe the right tackle of the future. You could always move Sewell, you know that, and then like he can definitely pop into guard. Like he feels like he could play really anywhere. You get JPJ, like the future is guard or center here. You get that, you can put him anywhere. All right, JPJ's a pick.
Was that the pick you would have picked if you were doing this by yourself?
Probably not.
Who would you have grabbed?
I don't know where I would have went though, to be real. Like I don't dislike that. That where the board was at, I'm not mad at that. There's a real scenario where I would have done it. Honestly, man, it's so tight between him and Darius Robinson, who's now at 51. I may have been crazy and just took Robinson instead. I know you're not as big on Robinson, but I will say I'm higher on Powers Johnson than it feels like people are recently. Like people recently, I feel like they're pulling him down in terms of like, oh man, he only can play center. And it's like, I get that, but I thought his snaps were at times messy. I honestly feel like he'd be legit at guard. Like teams may not view him as that, but I want to put the guy at guard. So I think like recently like, he's been looked at as lower, and it feels like now people for sure he's going second round. He definitely might, but I think JPJ, bro, he's legit. So he'd be my best lineman that was sitting there.
All day. I'm sprinting.
All right. So we're on to pick 2. So you want me to do this one?
Yeah, go for it.
Look at, bro, they got Phillips all the way here at 64, dude. 64 now. Yeah, they did shake this thing up. Malachi Corley's up here, which makes sense. All right. I want to get your thoughts on this, though. I took Junior Colson in a lot of my recent mocks. Does not have a place right away, but I love the idea of him with Jack Campbell in the future. I think that'd be awesome. Like, how would you feel about that?
I don't hate it. I like him too. Shoot. I don't know if I'm taking him over. We went offensive lineman. What receivers are there?
See, and that's what I'm trying to decide. Because to me, like I just had Burton super high, so I'd go Burton, right? But Corley's cool. I left Xavier Worthy off, by the way. If anybody was like, "Oh, Xavier Worthy was left off that list," and I was okay with that. I think he's a good receiver. I just left him off. I would probably take Burton here. I don't know that the Lions would though. I would be kind of surprised if they did. I don't think Dorless has the size, but he's a good pass rusher. What do you think? What would you do here? We can make this pick together. Oh, you know what though? Dang, bro. Like even safety's kind of.
Although I've been hearing a lot of hype about your boy Javon Baker.
I know, yo, Javon. I feel like he's a little less versatile because I don't think that he's going to do extremely well just in terms of like how many man matchup assignments you can actually do. Like I understand the idea like, oh, he can just put him anywhere. And I love that. And he'd be cool here. But there's also the flip side where I'm like, I do think that he would have some issues, especially if you're playing a lot more man as a team. Like there's going to be limitations, I think.
Mhm.
Andrew Phillips feels like he's ranked too high, but
Yeah,
I like him a lot.
I like
You
Kyrie.
like Kyrie Jackson.
Yeah.
You rather go Kyrie Jackson here?
I like all three of those guys right there. But I mean, Andrew Phillips, like you said, I'm going off of your reports with it. I never dove into that film, being quite honest with you. But you viewed him more as a nickel, and I think they just need more of an outside guy. Maybe unless they're just fully confident Meek is going to be that. I kind of want an outside cornerback personally.
No, I think that makes sense. Look, I think Kyrie
Jackson have it.
What's up?
Have the Lions even met with Kyrie Jackson?
I don't know. I have no idea. You're the one that when you sent me that was the first time I seen that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I don't think they met with him. I like Ronaldo Green a lot. But Brad's a cornerback aficionado. He has met with Andrew Phillips above all those other guys. So,
only thing I will say, like, I don't want to say so much. I do feel like I'm not going to draft. I could be wrong, but I bet we draft nobody.
Say it again.
I'll say this: Kyrie Jackson. So I thought he's a best cornerback that needs time to develop there. So like you put him in off coverage and zone early, and he'll be good to go. But like I really liked him when I watched him. I was like, yo, this guy's really good. I understand like while we were hyped on him early, and then it was like, hey, I got to rewatch him. Dude's legit across the board. His transitions are just average, but it's like, okay, if we can really like pull this together, it might take some time. But like for man coverage, it might take a little bit of time. It could come along, but I don't know that that's where you'd view as fit. So if I'm making this pick, I like Jarvis Brownlee too. I wouldn't take him here. I think I'd take Andrew Phillips just because honestly, no, I'll take that back. If I was making this pick based on who's there, I'd take Junior Colson.
Junior Colson.
Yeah. I go put the linebacker, bro. Be a backup behind Anzalone, bro. I just put him in there. Yo, what? You don't like Junior Colson, bro? I can feel the wind from here.
Around. What are you doing?
Oh, you think he's gonna be there?
Yeah,
but easy. I know you, bro. If I don't take him here, we're gonna get to round 3. You ain't gonna draft him, dog. You ain't gonna draft him. You know what I'm saying? All right, bet. How about this? You make this pick, I'll make the next one.
All right, bet. Give me.
All right.
Go to receivers real quick. Go to receivers and corners.
Ooh, okay. I want to hear who you like for receiver here because I already gave my list, so I need to know who you're thinking.
All right.
And by the way, I think Johnny Wilson is a tight end personally.
Is Edgerrin Cooper still there?
He is. If
I'm taking a linebacker, that's what I'm taking, by the way. That's
okay,
crazy.
so you're going to take Cooper, and then I'm going to come back and take Colson? That's how this is going to go?
No. No, you make this pick.
No. You make the pick. You can take Cooper. That's fine. I'll make the next one.
All right, go to receiver and corners. Like, just do them both.
All right. Yeah. Receiver
right.
and corner. Bam.
All right. Now, Spencer Rattler's the pick. No playing.
Hey, Renardo Green's there, bro. I've never mocked Renardo Green, but
roll up a little bit
for sure.
Back to the top. Okay. You take it to the top. You just can't stop. Give me Malachi Corley.
You want to make it happen?
Make it happen,
bro. I love that, bro. I love that. Hey, okay, easy. Come on, man. I know. Yeah, I love that. I would have taken Colson, but he said he's gonna be available around 3, and he is. So I'm on board with it. Like, bro, he's a more complete receiver. I absolutely agree with this.
By the way, I'm taking Cooper over Colson all day, every day. Like, not even.
You're taking Cooper over Colson. Okay.
In that situation, though, like if you're gonna take a line for that second round.
But now, you know what I mean? Now I was like, okay, I might take Renardo Green here because I know the gap's coming.
Yeah.
And I know like we could plug something. I'm taking Junior Colson, dog. I'm taking Junior Colson. Hey, wait, hold up. Before I keep it going, do you want me to trade back up because I know it's a huge gap?
Cancel.
You're not happy. You're not happy, bro.
You're canceled. Hey, Dion, get ready to learn Chinese, buddy.
Yo, wait, what's that from? What's that? That's from something,
like,
bro.
Whenever a player like gets kicked out of the league or like suspended, it's like that's like the next best league.
I saw that today. I saw someone say that today. I was like, bro, I've never seen that before. I'm like, that's crazy. Oh, it's about Klay Thompson and like ready to learn Chinese.
Klay Thompson, get ready to learn Chinese, buddy.
Yo, Klay Thompson was whack yesterday, bro. I was like, come on, dude. Over 10. Like, do you want to trade back up or should we just let it roll to 164? Because I know like it's a long gap.
There's a long gap.
Hey, chat, let us know. I'm very curious where people would say if the Lions say it's your favorite linebacker, right? Whether that's Wilson, Cooper, or Colson. If they took one of those three, or maybe it's somebody else, one of those three in the top 100, would you be upset? Should we let it roll easy, or should we just? I mean,
I'm cool with trading up.
see, that's the thing. That's all I want to. I know we weren't doing trades, but like, do you want to just trade to a range and then make the pick rather than like
time to trade?
No time. All right, we'll just let it roll.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Let's let it roll.
Or I would.
Gotta wait 80 picks though, so we gotta. Clay Thompson. I know, man. And he was doing good at the end of the year, and then it's just so bad. We need pass defense. This is true. Yeah, I agree with this. Yeah. I think cornerback's the biggest impact, but I was thinking cornerback's deep, kind of like receiver. I think it's deep. We're on the clock, 164. Bro, like to me, Pritchard's not going to make it here. I would be completely shocked if he did. But I would take Pritchard, I think, in this spot. Because it does address the corner. Mm-hmm. I think you said that the Lions met with him too. And
yeah, they took him out to dinner.
You on board with that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
By the way, wasn't he not on the site like a little while? No, he was.
Yeah, he was, but he was ranked even lower, I think.
I think
there was you brought another guy from like Syracuse up, and you're like, he's not even on here. Okay, 201. Do you have a poll with where we go here, or you kind of
201? Let's see who's there.
Go back to the top.
I like James Williams.
Jaylen Williams?
Yeah.
Oh, James Williams?
That's the big one from Miami, right? Like the 6'2",
big safety.
Linebacker a little bit last year.
There you go. 6'5". God.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, wow.
6'5". Oh, yeah.
Oh, Christian Boyd.
Where is he at? Oh yeah, dang, they dropped him. Nah, they definitely dropped him.
I'll probably take him.
It's your turn, man. So if you want,
my turn.
Yeah.
Dang, that's tough for me right now. Here, we didn't get us there at safety. We like here, bro. Well, we are
good safeties.
They are good safeties, and that is a little bit of that special team position too. If you're going a little bit of James Williams there, but
it's mainly Hampton though to me, bro. Like actually, I'm looking at this. Oh, hey, real quick, let me say this because if you are looking at safety, this is what I would do. I would take Ryan Watts. I don't know if you've seen anything on him. I would take Ryan Watts and I'd put him at safety. Have you seen anything on Ryan Watts?
Nope. I'm gonna write his name down right here.
I want to see if I had a little clip. Right here. I think it's right here. And it was from someone who took this from the Senior Bowl. Ah, dang, this ain't it. No, they ain't it. All right, I don't know where it's from. But anyway, like he only played cornerback and he even played cornerback in the Shrine Bowl. But like I think he moves to safety. I think they have a size. He's like 6'2". He actually ran pretty well. His body control is awesome. 6'3". Like I think he'd match up really well with tight ends, and he does have enough straight line speed to handle it. I think from a single high spot, but I would have some concerns there. But he would be probably my best safety out here from what I've seen so far. That's what I would do. But I could do that with the next pick, to be honest. So you take whoever you want.
Let's go down to. Can I see where Christian Boyd is ranked on the site?
Yeah, they got him low, man. They got like 220.
220.
They got my guy down here too at 221.
It's 205. You're taking the next pick.
Oh, that is a little disrespectful.
Let's grab Christian Boyd since you said you're getting a safety either way.
Okay, he's gonna be going for sure. Nah, we good. Bro. So we already took a linebacker. I like Jalen Green too. I feel like they knocked him down here. I like Solomon Byrd, but I think Jalen Green's more well-rounded. Do you think it'd make more sense to go edge based on what we've done, or take a safety?
Muhammad's released for sure off the board, actually.
Like I don't know if you.
Sorry, my fucking eyeball is.
You're good, bro. I don't have the script. Nah, like, hey, bro. I would not leave him at corner. I would not leave him at cornerback. But he actually did some good things. Like he does not have the quickness at all, but he did some good. He actually has really good body control, man, for a guy that played wide, even against some of the better receivers. Like he could kind of stick through top of the routes. I just wouldn't leave him there. He can't play corner to me. You got to play safety.
Let's look at safety.
Okay. All these guys I've seen, I'm not really high on.
You know what I'm doing.
Convert, but
you know what I'm doing, brother. You do what you gotta do, though.
Is this my pick or is this yours?
I think your pick. I just picked.
Oh, this is my pick.
Yeah.
I think Ryan Watt's probably gonna fall, bro. So like part of me kind of wants to do that, but you got the next pick. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take Jalen Green. And I'm gonna get us an edge rusher because we haven't done that yet.
Okay.
I think he's got a little more well-rounded stop to run than a guy like Bird is. And he also would have more upside as a pass rusher than Cedric Johnson. He's much more in the body type of James Houston. Oh, dang, Watts went. Okay. Hey, man, hey, good luck with this one. I'll also, what was he? This guy. I don't see a name Nathaniel Watson. I like him too. Like part of me thinks you put him on the line. I just drafted a guy that's probably gonna do that, but I like Nathaniel Watson, dude. I think he's actually a pretty well-rounded linebacker. I know this is your guy right here, bro. I know this is your guy. I saw that last video.
My own. Yeah, there.
Definitely Dial too. That was legit. That's your guy. Hey, yo, South Carolina be putting out corners, man. They rotated a lot back there, but they be putting corners. That was playing when they had some corners that went pretty high too.
Scroll down a little bit there. Just a bit.
Okay.
So we'll see.
You can, yeah.
All right, let's keep kind of like Trey Knox. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not mad at that.
Kind of like Trey Knox. But
what about Aaliyah?
I did take him.
Wallace too, bro. I like Josh Wallace too.
About it.
We can't take two Michigan players though, because
you can make this last pick.
No, you make last pick. It's you. You make it.
I just saw 3 names that never knew existed in life.
Hey, yo, I get it. Oh, Charles Turner chilling. Oh no, we got
the Alabama kicker.
Take kicker.
We got the Alabama kicker.
Cam Little.
That's Arkansas's kicker, but whatever.
Okay.
Oh, you're muted. Surprise, surprise. C+ for JPJ at pick 29. Something must be out about him that we're not familiar with. Because that is crazy.
Am I still muted?
Nope, you're back now.
My bad, dude. This is a better mock than what I had. They gave me some terrible grades. I didn't say bad, man. JPJ got a 29. Bro, and it's even better than their big board rank. I think that their grades are based on what they think your needs are. Because when I draft linebacker, usually you don't get a good grade. Well, actually give me a solid grade here. But when I took him at 61, I think in my mock earlier, and they gave me like a D or something. They were like hating on it, bro. I think it's because of the knee, because they were like, oh, Chris Braswell's there. Like this. Yeah, so they lower it because Chop Robinson was there, and they say that was a bigger need, so you should have went Chop. They say it based on the needs. They grade you based on the needs, but then you change the things to don't draft needs, and they still say that you got to draft the needs. Maybe that changes the grade. I don't know, but you probably would have got a lot lower grade, to be honest, if we didn't change that.
Good point. Corley's too small. I love everything else.
Yeah, he is small.
Big.
I don't know what do you do with him, but bro, put him in here. Just just stand him the football and stuff. Just give him the football, dude. Hey, I don't care where he lines at. You were big on Corley too, weren't you?
Yeah, I like Corley. Corley's a dog. I mean, he's DK, not DK. I'm sorry.
He's DK like too.
I'm so tired right now. I'm like out of it.
All right, hey, let's wrap it, bro. Let's wrap it.
Debo Light.
There you go. I rock with that. Solid B-. I'm trying to figure out how I never get that grade, bro. You know what I mean? Chat.
I hated the Junior Colson pick. Not gonna lie.
You hate that?
If we're grabbing a linebacker, he's got to be a freak or offer something like freaky. Like schematically. I don't know if Colson does that.
I take him because he's the best linebacker to me. And then I like Cooper. I think he's the best linebacker.
Yeah, but
I don't know what he does year one. I really don't. Like he's just gonna rotate, but there's gonna be a huge rotation.
Especially grabbing, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then here's the thing too, is like maybe Anzalone comes back after next year.
Absolutely, and I love Anzalone. Like it doesn't make any sense for needs at all.
No, it's
just like the idea of him and Jack Campbell for future to me would be pretty nasty. And then like, hey, bro, if Derek Barnes is gone, I mean, I hope not, but I don't know. What do you got? You got Melvin Rodriguez, who played a little bit on defense. Maybe he's a fullback now. You have what was the other? Jalen Reeves-Maybin, who plays on defense on third down, but he doesn't play a ton. So it's like, I don't know. Like, what do you have behind those? You have solid depth pieces. That's weird. My explanation is terrible. This isn't helping anything here. All right, man.
Derek was he had that Dallas game.
Yeah. Look, man, I don't.
Game-stealing touchdown in the playoff. I mean, game-stealing interception.
Who did? Oh, Derek Barnes. Oh yeah, that was nasty. Bro.
Yeah.
Like nah.
Neon, what are we doing?
All right, what if I would have took Peyton Wilson though? Would you have been more hyped about that because of the coverage and stuff, the way that he moves?
In the second round? Or
Yeah, let's say he was there in the second round, because he could get pushed because of injury.
Yeah, because at that point you're grabbing a guy that's like ranked. I mean, my personal view as a better like player. That's why I mean, Andrew Cooper to me is linebacker one. Well, that's from you and Broder hyping that up. But his tape that I saw, he was just so versatile. Like
he's nice, bro. He's nice.
He's very versatile. It reminded me a little. This is crazy, and I know it's gonna sound crazy, and I didn't do a deep tape for type, so maybe it's invalid. But like, just the bit that I watched is like, yo, you know, Micah blitzes from the interior linebacker.
Yeah,
that's what I saw, and then the coverage was good too.
Watch this now. I had a higher blitzing grade on Junior Colson than I did on Cooper.
You said what?
I had a higher blitzing grade on Colson than Cooper. Bro. Yo, I will say though, I want you to check somebody out. You can watch his highlights before we get out of here. Watch a Nathaniel Watson out of Mississippi State. If you're looking for that, he had 21 sacks since 2021. He don't look like Micah, but bro can rush the passer. Watch that guy. Just like pull some highlights if they got him. I don't know if anybody posts those.
Type in Junior Colson highlights right now.
Okay. I mean, you watch those too. These are bad.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna do it while I'm live with you right now. Hold on. Here we go.
Remember Neil?
What number he was again?
Dang, shout out to Juma, man. I appreciate you. You're always in here, man. I appreciate you. Yeah. We got some wild stuff.
29.
Are you really watching his highlights?
Yeah, I am.
You're kind of blown away a little bit.
Yeah, out of here, bro. I'm so mad at you.
Bro.
You like 6 foot even? Come on. What are we doing?
Here, look. I'll go to my notes. Watch this. Let me see. See, we got them notes easy.
I was trying to talk myself into it, but I was like, you know what? I like his.
You like, nah, that was trash. All right, here, look. He's 6'2", 238. That's a typical.
He's quicker than I thought.
Yeah. I mean, look, his testing numbers. Okay, I don't have any.
Good angles.
Good angles. Yeah. He's good in pass coverage. I think he's really good in zone. All right, here would be the concern. He's better in zone than man. So if you were for us, you could say that. I don't like it. He's not bad at man, but he's better in zone. And then if you're looking for just a matchup piece, Wilson would be the best in man because he runs like a safety. But
he's very calculated, it feels like.
I think he needs time though. Like I really do. Like I think Colson is one of those guys that you can plug him and play. But I thought his lowest grade for me was football intelligence. And that's not to say he's dumb or something, but it's like I think it just
he feels patient and calculated watching him.
And it's like, yo, it's okay for him to sit behind Alex to me. Like that would be a really good spot for him to learn from a guy that can play multiple positions because he's versatile just in the way that he's built. Then when Jack Campbell takes over and he's the true guy making the calls, now you put him in there with Colson eventually, and it's like, hey, you got a really well-rounded linebacker that's super stout. So it's like you don't have Campbell for a game, plug him into the Campbell role, he can handle that.
I'm sorry, Dion. I'm taking Andrew Cooper over this guy all day.
Well, Andrew Cooper was gone easy. Bro, we took Corley.
Well, I'm just related to we almost took him in the second round. I had to stop you there.
You did. But I was faking teams out though. That's what that was. It was a little bit.
Here's the thing with Andrew Cooper, right? If you want to sit a guy, you can still sit a guy, but can you shit a guy? That's the real question. Have you ever shit a guy out of your ass? Exactly. Now,
I never looked at
one, right? you still set Andrew Cooper, but here's the thing. Dion, what do you like that you always flirt with all the time that you wanted in free agency, that you wanted Alex Van Ginkel for?
The Sam Backer?
Huh?
Sam linebacker?
Yeah. You think Andrew Cooper can flirt with Sam linebacker?
I know. I think that's where he's at his best, bro.
And you can still learn that interior too. He'd be versed.
Bro, I don't dislike Cooper, dog. I don't, but I'm concerned. I think, yo.
You just don't like the hair.
It's not the hair, dude. It's really it's the way that he has his socks pulled up. They're kind of like halfway up there. It's just like, bro, who leaves wrinkles? Like, pull them up if you're gonna wear those long things. I don't know. Like, I think he's built to play on the line, and he did at times. But there's just a part of me that's like, I'm worried about. I don't know that the pass rush is ever gonna click to what people hope. I think a lot of his sacks were based on him spying the quarterback, and I don't know that I've ever like watched him as like, yo, but look at him do this. I just don't get that. Like when I watch, I'm like, I don't see any pass rush plan at all. It's like there's nothing there. He's kind of just waiting for the running back to take off. And it's cool. He closes like an animal, and maybe as a Sam linebacker, it's just simple as that. Like all you got to do is learn how to be the tight end. We got something. So maybe that's the fair way to look at it. He's got the length to do it. He's got the ability. He's got the power to do it, and he'd be awesome in all the other categories. Run, pass.
I guess I can say it for sure now, but like, I guess we'd have to literally watch tape to even have an answer for this question. But do you feel like Micah's calculated? I'm not even going to go there.
Like he's like Micah? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, athletically, yeah, but I was gonna say, do you think Micah has a planned pass rush? But he does for sure. I mean, he's definitely kicking ass off the line, but he's like been in the league long enough where it's planned. These aren't spy sacks, Dion. This guy's ripping off the freaking edge like a madman.
Dog, I haven't seen it yet. Maybe I've seen the wrong games, bro. I haven't seen it, and that's maybe I need to watch a different game that I haven't
Alabama.
seen. Against who?
Alabama.
I had to have seen that game. There ain't no way I seen it. I watched him against Alabama.
Oh, and here's the thing too, right?
I actually haven't actually.
Rocky Martins takes this leap with Terrell Williams. You already got DJ Reader. If this defensive line is like filling holes the way they're supposed to, the way it makes sense on paper they're going to. I mean, I can't answer for Bradley Martin for sure, but he's a giant human being. Bro, this guy's gonna cook as that.
Okay, but watch this. There's real concerns about the way that he moves though. Easy. Like, are they showing any coverage plays beyond 5 yards, dude? Everything's straight up. He moves everything straight up. I mean, he could turn and run. Like he gives you like Derek Barnes vibes in coverage. Like he can turn and run with somebody, but like laterally, he's not going to be real smooth.
Let me see.
He's like 6'1", I think. 6'2", 227.
He spells it weird. Not that Edge.
Yeah, he do spell weird. Like he spells like Edge and then Rin.
Yeah. All right. Oop! I actually typed in Edgerini. He's Italian all of a sudden.
I think Braswell's a neater fit for what we could do than Edgerrin Cooper, but I think Cooper arguably is the better player. He's just put more production.
Yeah, I'm not even like on his jock like that. I'm just saying if you're gonna take a linebacker, that's the guy.
I'm not mad at that. He plays with a fire too. So if you were like, yo, get that guy as a Lion, I'm not mad at it. Like I said, I think he'd be best as the same linebacker. So it absolutely could work. That's why I took it. I have the mock draft. I took Cooper, and I was like, yo, but
because you can move him around.
I just think Colston's better, bro. I think Colston's better, well-rounded.
I think Colston's a better, like, just true traditional Mike linebacker. But
yes,
you could just do so much more special things with Edgerrin Cooper. And
all right, well, that's fair. I'm leaning more into the well-rounded, can deal with offensive linemen. I think much better. And then he also has the aspect of better
floor versus the higher ceiling, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what some people draft.
There's that, and there's a style too. Yeah, like bro, like Cooper. Yeah, Cooper could be a way better blitzer. He's way more agile. He's loose as heck. He slides around blocks left and right.
Hold on though, why are we grabbing another mic if you have Jack Campbell?
No. I'm putting those next to each other. Bam, we just sticking them right next to each other. Those dudes are playing. He could play Mike, but I think he could play Will too. I grade him as a Will linebacker because I think he can cover that well.
I had never done this too, so I'm just asking. Have you ever watched who's the other guy in San Fran? The Kinlaw.
Greenlaw?
Greenlaw.
Yeah.
How do you feel about him?
I don't really know, to be honest. I'm trying to think back. Greenlaw flies around. I know that.
That's why I feel like he could play even better, to be honest with you.
I'm not mad at that. No, I'm not. And then Campbell's our Fred Warner.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it, bro. I'm not like, bro, I get what you're saying.
Makes a lot of sense. I like that we just came up with that together just now. I love that.
And to be fair, like Chat said, if you're blitz heavy, which the Lions are, Cooper would probably be really good for that.
Bro, the other thing too, right? He's got the speed. He's twitchy as shit. Just from what I saw just now, like think about all the time those quarterbacks that got down on us. You talk about he's getting sacks out of the quarterback spy. No mas.
We don't play a spy.
That's true. You're right.
That's where I'm like, well, hold up. What are we gonna? Right. Is he gonna be on the field on third down? Because my thing is, if you can't stand on the edge and rush, I know we do blitz our linebackers, and then he's fine in coverage, but he doesn't do much in terms of depth. Like if it's 3rd and 5, okay, I can kind of play, but we're not gonna spy him. So I'm like, what do I do with him on third down? It's part of me. It's a little bit like I don't know. He might be our best blitzing linebacker, but I don't know, bro. Like I just took the more well-rounded linebacker. It was as simple as that. And I do think that Junior Colston can legit rush the passer. He doesn't have the same athleticism or build, But if you watch Junior Colson, like that dude can legit. Everyone he rushes, I thought he was really successful. He's strong. He has contact balance. He can win between the tackles. He had a sack against Alabama. Speaking of Alabama, so
you're wrong. You're just wrong.
All right, wait.
It's a preference.
Yeah, did we meet with Cooper? I don't know.
No, we did not.
But anyway,
baby. Hold on.
Easy's to meet with guy, so you got to ask.
Right now, I'm a meet guy.
That sounded crazy, bro.
All right.
That sounded wild. All right, we're gonna wrap it.
Here's Detroit Lions top 3 picks before we go.
Okay.
Giovanni Manu, offensive tackle out of the CFL. That's that like 6'9" guy. He's a giant human being. Receiver Roman Wilson out of Michigan. Man, heard of him. Edge Marshawn Nealon out of Western Michigan. Edge Nate Lynn out of William and Mary. I'm done with William and Mary prospects.
No.
Ooh, this guy had high upside heading into this year, but kind of like died down. Michael Hall, defensive tackle, Ohio State.
Yeah, he can get after it.
Christian Boyd, Northern Iowa. We talked about him before. I think we have. I know we haven't.
I think we just drafted him.
Johnny Newton. If this guy falls, there's no way this guy falls. But we met with Johnny Newton. Oh man,
yeah. He's gonna fall. He's gonna fall.
You think he's gonna fall?
I bet he's there. I bet he's there at 29.
Get the fuck out.
I bet he's there at 29, bro.
I would mail myself if we drafted Johnny.
He'll be there at 29. I bet he is.
Mail my.
I got that going in.
Actually, we're gonna be in the same spot. We got free food and drink. Otherwise, I bet you a pizza.
We can make the bet there.
Kool-Aid McKinstry, they met with officially. Quantez Stiggers, they met with officially. Teron Arnold, they met with officially. Andrew Phillips, they met with officially. And it's Rakestraw. It says, no, not the steadiest of sources, but it was retweeted by Rakestraw himself, and Rakestraw posted on Instagram a photo of him in Detroit, consistent at the timeline. Bye. Kalen Carson out of Wake Forest, they met with.
Okay. That's why chat's always saying Kalen Carson. I got you.
Yeah, we should do something on him.
Okay.
Yon Vaki. That's the kid who played running back and safety at Utah. Pritchett, I said him already. I'm the local. I'm sorry, I don't have to do this. I told you I was one. I wanted to leave that. Here I am. Theo Day, Northern Iowa, quarterback. Blake Corum. These are just local days. I don't even count that as a meeting. They just came to fucking work out.
Yeah, that's too close. They don't count. Yeah. That's just like the players that if they're in the area, they don't even count, right? If they're in Michigan or something, they don't count.
Yeah, exactly. Other meetings from the combine. Xavier Legette, Brian Thomas, Devontae Walker, Anthony Gold. Those are all receivers. Offensive tackle.
Anthony Gold's legit.
You like him?
Bro, like a lot of people have him day 3. I think he'd be nasty in day 3. No, he'd be an awesome slot, bro. He can fly. He ran like a 4.3 something.
Nelson Caesar out of Houston. Marshawn Nealon again. It says 2 meetings. 3 meetings with Darius Robinson. Braylon Trice met with the combine. Javon Solomon.
3 with Robinson?
Yeah.
Put the pick in chat. It's going down. Darius Robinson is a lion.
Robinson local day. And, I lied. Just twice.
Okay, never mind. Take the pick back.
You have to put it back.
Yeah.
Put that in your pocket. Jalen Harrell out of Michigan. There you go. I like
Jalen Harrell. Yeah.
Jalen Harrell.
He can spin.
Michael Barrett out of Michigan. Oh, wait, I'm going back to the local day.
Stop. They're taking his team. They're taking Colson, bro. They bet with Barrett. They bet with Harrell. They're taking
Ron Solomon virtual meeting. Johnny Newton. Twice now. Johnny Newton. Aaron Casey, linebacker of Indiana. That's what you should watch.
I haven't seen it yet.
Please do that. Just because that'll answer what you and I are trying to answer between.
Like style wise?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know anything about Casey? Is he like a certain style? I know
zero about Casey, but he plays for Indiana. They met with Quinion at the draft too. And Malik Mustafa.
I like Mustafa. Oh, the safety out of Wake, yeah.
Yeah. I like him too.
I like Notre Dame's linebacker, to be honest. I don't remember his name.
But he's got some solid defender, solid secondary guys for all the time.
So they're going defensive line, it sounds like. I mean, if we based on that, they're going either receiver or defensive line with that first pick. Newton, Robinson, who's Carter. I mean, Hall's not round 1, but they're going defensive line relatively early, which is a Brad Holmes thing to do.
1, 2. Yeah, you're not wrong. All right, Dion. I love you, brother.
All right, man. Appreciate you joining. Thanks for hopping on. Chat, appreciate y'all joining as well. We're going to wrap this thing up. We're officially now a week out from the draft after this. And we'll be back soon with a lot more
drafts. Where will we be for the draft? Just a little update. Where are you going to be for the draft? I was curious.
I actually have a little little map thing.
Oh.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Got this up at 5 or below. You know, they had the movie posters. So I'm like, let me take a picture.
All right.
Yeah, it looked good. It looked good, man. Soaring Eagle Casino. If y'all want to see us, man, and you don't know what you're doing for the draft, we're doing a watch party from Soaring Eagle with these creators that you see on the screen. And yes, H-Man going to be there. I don't know how he usually is doing some stuff, but he's going to be there. So yeah, if y'all are like, yo, yeah, Mike, hey, wait till you see the other picture, dog. We can't post it, but you know what I'm saying?
We had to put a shirt on that, man. It was dang.
Yeah, it was like, hold up, man. That was all look bad, dog. So yeah, definitely tune into that, bro. Or join us, bro. If you don't know what you're doing, like, come over and say what's up. Are we good?
Yeah.
All right.